back again, definitely for a viral reaction to this one. To say the least, it's a viral match reaction. This is where you can get out all your emotions. You can say what you need to say. Obviously, tomorrow will be another day where you can, be able to rewatch the game maybe, or understand why this wasn't called, or why this was done, or why this move was made. But for right now, we're just going off of raw emotions. And wow, we definitely needed this. We definitely needed this win. Big up to Lee. Big up to Nalante that are joining us today. Nalante is out and about, so he's going to be hopefully in some areas where he can contribute. Lee is, I don't believe he's still upstairs with his dad, but no, okay, he's back at his own casa or his own domicile. So big up. How was your dad? Does your dad root against Liverpool?
No, he's not like that about football. He's not bothered. All he says to me is, "Let's have a quiet match," so he doesn't want me going and shouting.
Oh, really?
Really? Not being his team, he won't put up with me shouting ball or bad decisions. So I
got you. I got you. Well, the people that are my temporary neighbors here definitely heard me go off a little bit. So there you have it. We do need Frimpong fitly. It was reported that Arne said in the post-match, I didn't go exactly live right off the bat because I wanted to hear what Arne Slot had to say when he got interviewed. It was something of a situation here where we need to figure out if we can keep these. I mean, it's going to be difficult if we got a somewhat fragile Connor Bradley, and we have a Frimpong who apparently felt his hamstring in this matchup, and that's why he was taken off for Endo. And something, I don't know if Lee could hear the interview that was being done, posted by it was by the guys and women that do our commentary for us on this side of the pond. But I don't know if he could hear it or not. But in the interview, this is just me paraphrasing it, Arne Slot spoke about the fact that, we have some issues that need to be addressed. He said that our back line is something that needs to be handled. Tim Howard asked him directly, what was your thinking? What was your in bringing in Endo at right back, and then moments later transitioning him to the midfield and bringing in Joe Gomez? It was a strange one at that. I don't know what to expect from this team when it comes to right now, at least, while we still try to work out our defensive coverage. It really helps that we had the energy at Anfield. And for this game, at least, it really was a difference maker, I think, personally. And there were some other notable things that we're going to talk about as well. I'm going to let Lee tell us what his thoughts were while I also make sure that the television is muted in the background for the commentary that's going on. So what were your thoughts, Lee?
I thought it was a decent enough performance. It was just patchy in parts, wasn't it? And we didn't look particularly secure at the back. I wouldn't say we looked bad at the back. We just didn't look that secure. We were at our best, but it is the first game of the season. And people are making their debuts. We had two new fullbacks. We had Ekatike and Words making their debuts as well. So really, I suppose I've just got to look at it from that angle, that it is our first game. and we will improve. And Gravenberch is back for the next game, which is all important, I think, to help us look more comfortable and not be hit on the break so easily.
Right. Let's not. I definitely will be a little bit critical of Slot in this game, but I'm not going to go as far as Ross. Malay. Apologies if I pronounced your last name wrong, or if that's your first name. But yeah, I'm not going to go that far. I definitely think that there were some questions to be asked. Look, I was certainly, I was doing a little bit back and forth with Quasi and Brian today. Quasi had a show this morning, and they were talking about the difference between Klopp and Slot, and they were just doing the whole wax lyrical about Slot and this and that and blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, look, let's be honest with you. Like, Klopp is an amazing coach, but even he had his flaws. And being that I still think that Klopp was one of the most legendary coaches that we've had the pleasure of having in our club's history, that goes to say that that even Slot will have flaws or have things that he needs to work out or address. One of those things is something that a lot of us asked of Slot in a game where we didn't necessarily, some don't think that, for instance, that the Community Shield matters. It's a glorified preseason game. That's all fantastic and well. Whatever your opinion is on that, that's one thing or another. However, what was notable in that game is that we only used 4 subs, and not one of those subs was either Chiesa or even Rio. There's some of us that would have said, hey, bring on Rio, bring on a fresh face, bring on something that's going to give us some surprise element to the game. However, a lot of us, myself included, was basically begging to see Chiesa get an opportunity to get onto the pitch. Every time pretty much we've seen Chiesa get onto the pitch, he does something that is positive for us, offensively especially, whether it's in the Newcastle game, whether it's been in there's very few that you can pick from, tell you the truth, simply because this coach doesn't give him the opportunities. And it's not like he doesn't have the skill or the talent to do so. And that's why at times I will bring up some type of, and this is a viral reaction, but I will bring up some type of viral match reaction of critiquing, and I think rightfully criticizing the fact that, yes, the subs were all over the place today. Not many of us could even recognize that or recognize where and what our coach was trying to do with some of the subs. He openly admitted it in the not press conference, but in the interview, the post-game interview, and that's a concern. He mentioned the fact that we've lost 4 starters from his team. We've lost a lot of players from his team. He said that we have to replace them. But yet at the same time, when he's talking about that, reason why he says Ekitike is not up to match fitness to go do a full 90. That's concerning. He said that that Gomez obviously is just back. He could barely give us 25 minutes. Okay, that is understandable. But the sheer fact that, the back line isn't exactly the fortress that we've been hoping it would be, or at least dependable upon, is a concern. Is a real concern. Let's see. So Lee, I know that Nolante is going to be rejoining us shortly, but and I agree with that too. Mark says so. I think that's basically what I'm trying to right here. We have a systematic issue alarm. Bells should be ringing. Absolutely. And I don't want to hear about, but we won the Premier League last year. We won the Premier League. Yeah, we were fortunate that a good number of these players weren't injured. and we were able to get through with a team that notably had done the exact same thing the year before, but unfortunately got injured towards the end of the year. That's like why I don't understand all this like wax lyrical about the fact that, yes, Slot needs to definitely recognize and figure out what he wants to do. Have a midfield that is consistent, a back line that is comfortable enough to trust each other, to play and do what they need to do for a defensive consistency. And we need some fluidity up front, period. We need all these three things to occur. And I'm believing that we can figure it out. I'm believing in this coach that he'll figure it out. But I'm saying at the moment, that's not the case. It's just simply not the case. The first goal, for instance, wasn't a – I'm going to stop my soapbox pretty soon. I'm sorry, Lee, for talking over it for so long. We'll begin with this. Lee, what else did you think? Is what I'm saying off base or,
No, we didn't look right. There's a question mark about the whole side when Ryan isn't in it, isn't there? About the combinations that we have in midfield. And he put Endo on at right back and stuck Jones in Mac's place, didn't he, in midfield, and then soon changed it. To me, that says it all, really. Like, I know I heard what he said after the match, because you had it on in the background, Swells, where Slot was saying Joe's only trained like 3 times with us, so maybe that's why he waited. He didn't want to bring him on initially, like at right back, and put Endo in midfield, but. Yeah, they just they made chances a little bit too easily, didn't they, at times?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they are a decent side. I mean, I said that before the match. I said this won't be a walkover. Like, I knew it weren't going to be anything like 3-0 or anything like that. But they're a decent side and they gave us a good game. We came through it eventually, but there are worries. There are definitely concerns, aren't there, about the squad?
I just mentioned that to we have Nolante back. I just mentioned 2 comments that I saw in the chat that I agree with completely. The one was something I mentioned before the game. Like I know Bournemouth's never won at Anfield. Bournemouth has. But Bournemouth, like I mentioned, had a 7-game win streak of openers, 7-game undefeated streak in openers. I'm not sure if all games were winning streak. They'd won every one of those games, but I do know that out of the 7, they were undefeated, and that says something about a team that whether whoever is their coach, they have them ready and understanding how to actually get the job done from the very beginning. But at the very same time, I don't think whether it's a home game or away game, it's always going to be a difficult game in the Premier League. Doesn't matter who the opponent is. Also noted in the chat that Lee said that our next game is on August 25th, which is correct. We have 10 days before we travel to what is going to be another extremely emotional and also extremely telling and difficult game to get through. And that is going to be the game that we go to Newcastle and try to cement a second victory for the start of our campaign. But it is 10 days away. So fortunately for us, by having this Friday game, we're going to have a 10-day break, and we'll at least be able to see, hopefully we can get some of these players more rested. We can get some of these players a little bit more fit. We can get them certainly a little bit closer to being able to get into 90-minute fitness. And on top of that, hopefully we can start to acclimate into some type of fluidity and with this club, because that's one of the biggest I was told to accept change by Ross Crab actually. And it's not that I don't, change is what it is. It's happened, so I have to accept it. But it is something that I'm going to be interested to see the patience level of a lot of our fan base in the fact that with change comes a time where you have to adjust to it. You have to. There's going to be times where we're going to have to, Verts and Ekitike are going to have to learn where and how to play on the pitch with each other. The same with Cody and Ekitike or the likes. And I know Cody had a goal assisted by Ekitike today, which is great. But that's going to have to happen, So it is something of an interesting tango to get there. But what is Kevin Disarray? There you go, Kevin. I'm sure your apology is appreciated and noted by Mr. Chiesa. Delonte, are you back at a good spot?
Yeah, can you hear me? All good.
Yes.
Is it all good?
Yeah.
Cool.
Perfect.
Cool.
Definitely good.
Good.
Who do you think really if you had to give, we said the MOTM, as I'm trying to take a little thunder from Lee and his the MOTM, the Matma. Is that what we're going to call it? Maybe Matma. Who was your Matma? Who was your Matma of the day?
It's got to be Hugo.
Really?
Over TK. Yeah. I was very impressed. Obviously, I'm still not 100% convinced, but the last 2 games, he's done some good bits. It's either him or Mac to a certain extent. Yeah, but Hugo, it was good, man. It was good.
I'll ask you this too: is it where, or to the point where, because there was actually a sequence that occurred where there was, I think it was from a corner, but I'm not positive if it was or wasn't. But it was a cross that went across, and Ekitike, rather than let it fall to Salah, he went up and tried to head it. He didn't really get a good placement of it. It went out of bounds. But yet, a lot of times, especially with the players that are on our team, a lot of those players will kind of like, knowing that Salah is back there, they'll kind of, rather than go for it, maybe they'll even try to do a dummy to try to take their player with them. Not really, you know what I mean? Like kind of not really looking to take away the opportunity from Salah, basically allowing for Salah to have the opportunity more so than not conceding to Mo Salah. But he didn't do that today. I bring that up because the commentator on my side of the pond mentioned that actually. He talked about that not at length, but he's definitely brought that up about how he was active and trying, and not only getting involved, but maybe sometimes like things that would have went, beyond him, or maybe would have just been him passing it on to try to start something from the wings. He was being direct with his play. Do you agree with that? That's also to you, Delonte, since you were just talking about he's your man of the match.
Hugo, yeah, listen, I'll do some good bits. I mean, someone said Sobol and Salaman in the match. Nah, not for me. Nah, Sobol, man, again, he done all right. I was no way man of the match. And again, I keep... Again, what I'm going to say is I'm going to keep telling people about the game of football. This midfield is exposed on counter-attack, moments of getting the goals, and the defence, well, I'm putting more VBD and Robbo, or them two, rather than the latter two. And this is the thing, and it goes to show we can't get away with the Sobo Mac thing, because yeah, they're good players, but we get exposed defensively. I mean, it's just common sense. Just put the Endo in there. I just don't understand for the fact of me. And this has happened. I've seen this, but people want to create over we won, and that's fine. But cracks are there. When you see things, and look at teams now. Look, teams are going to exploit that. If anyhow Slot does this again in the next game, I'm gonna lose it with him. And as good as Slot does, he needs to be more efficient with certain things. And Ibn was atrocious today. He really was. I mean, I mean, but again, I've stuck by with Ibu. You know, I mean, my Ibu thoughts has not changed. You know, if Joey was just unfortunate, Joey was not 100. If Joey was 100% fit, Ibu should be on the bench. But you know, we move. I mean, look, the attacking wise, I think we all know. We know what we can do. Works was a bit hit and miss today. Well, you know, but again, it's going to take him time. So you
Yeah.
know, we just have to understand the system and you know not be greedy with certain things. You know, this is the thing.
Yeah, I can't agree more. I guess, and I think a lot of people out there just think that it's like a switch that you just turn on simply because on paper these players are exceptional players, and that's not the case. You know, it takes time for them to gel. It takes time for them to really show a lot of the differences and contributions that they can bring to the team. I had it on mute for a little bit, and I was listening to what you had to say, but I also was listening in the other ear to what Ali is being interviewed right now. And one of the questions was about, you know, with this team, like, you know, is it going to be difficult? One, is it going to be difficult do you think it's going to be difficult to go back to back, which is a strong question to ask a player. And then also he was asked about, you know, the fact of, you know, this team, or at least he offered this out as being part of his answer. He said this team has seen a lot of change. He's like, most notably last year, this team was a team that had already been together, been through wars, been through battles together. You know, Slot came, implemented some different schemes, different things to the mix. And because the familiarity was there, and because the players knew each other, they were able to adjust and adapt accurately, and definitely create success for us last year. Obviously, winning us a title. He said, but this year, this is Ali speaking, not me. Ali said that this year, though, we have a lot of interchangeable parts that have happened. A lot of those same players that were part of that connectiveness are no longer a part of this club. So it means that we have to, you know, figure out a way to make these players understand their roles, and also be able to gel and work the best with each other. I don't know what you would say. Did you think that our front line was the most suspect today? Do you think our midfield was the most suspect, or do you think our back line was the most suspect, Lee?
It has to be the midfield, really, for me. And it wasn't too bad until we conceded. When Mac went off, we did lose something. Putting Jones in there with Sobbo behind Wirtz. Wirtz, who come off? Whatever, anyway. We weren't that. We were weak in midfield, I think. That was where it looked to be weak. And we didn't have a great game defensively because of that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Do you was it the back line, the midfield, or the front line for you, Nolante? Or was it a collective of the entire team? Does the entire team take responsibility for it? For the performance that we got? 86 or 87 minutes out of the game. Oh. I don't know. Your mic's not picking up, I think, for some reason.
I agree with Nolante anyway about Endo. When Gravenberch isn't there, I would like to see him, because he gives the defence a bit of a shield.
Yeah.
When Grav isn't there, I'm talking, which
Can you hear me?
We can hear you now, yes.
Cool.
It's almost like the same thing again, I told you about how the Slot admitted that our back line is in need of some maintenance. You know, obviously we don't have Connor Bradley. Gomez is just returning, so he's very limited in the minutes that he can provide. Simicast wasn't even option on the bench. You know, we all saw the attitude people gave towards Robbo being a part of the solution. I just speak on Robbo for like 10, 15 minutes with my suggestion. And then you have obviously, the makeshift of Endo or the likes being someone that you could plug in as that player. But this game didn't have Gravenberg as who is our number 6. Despite what everyone keeps trying to say, he's not a 6. He's not a 6. Well, get over it. He's our 6. Okay. And there's a big difference when he's in the game, I think. But when he spoke about our defense, he referenced again. I just reflect back to what he just said. He said that when Tim Howard asked him a question, he was like, "Yeah." He said, "Was that the plan to put in Endo as our right back and then eventually transition him to the center, the CDM for us?" And he said, "No." That's one thing I will give Slot. He is honest with his answers. And he said, no, it wasn't the answer it wasn't the premise of what we were trying to do by bringing in Endo. That shows more so than not that we need to figure out what's going on with our back line. Leone, if we're talking about Ekitike, who's been here, because originally he said, "Oh, he's coming late," but then he changed his wording. He said, "Well, not really late," because he understood the fact that Ekitike was one of our first, first players that we brought in. He said, the fact that Ekitike is not up to 90 minutes fitness yet, the fact that some of these other players aren't up to the fitness levels that we need them to be. That's a concern. That has to be a concern, especially since obviously we're going to have to utilize their talents and skills. Is that something too far? Is that something too far-fetched to say, Lee? Or
no, I wouldn't say so. No, we at least we've got 10 days until the next game, haven't we? Until Arsenal away, we've got 10 days, so we've got time, like you said earlier, to sort things out to a degree. And we do have Ryan coming back, don't we?
Yeah, that'll be huge. That'll be huge once we get Gravenberg, right? Once we get him back into the starting lineup, I think that'll be very, very big. I think McAllister needs to get to match fitness as well. I was happy to see him start in the sense of that at least says that you're expecting or at least hoping you can get some quality minutes out of him. There were some spots that really, really made you question if he should have been in the game. But let me ask you this, guys, and this is something that really, really got under. I've already said it a couple of different times on some of the chats that I'm a part of, but I don't understand the purpose of VAR if VAR is going to be an absolute I don't know if you heard, but they gave some type of ruling as to why that wasn't a handball, or at least why that wasn't something that VAR was going to administer as a foul. And the reasoning behind it was, in their opinion, that was not a goal-scoring opportunity. It was a probable goal-scoring opportunity, not a definite goal-scoring opportunity. Are we really going to get into semantics with VAR now? You know what I mean? Like, are we going to have to be word police with VAR as to, like, you're going to now make a gray area as to whether or not the player would have been, whether he would have been able to have a one-on-one opportunity with the goalkeeper or not, or, on goal, if that player hadn't done a handball. And the sheer fact that okay, we all understand that this referee hates us. I get that. And he's not going to get the benefit. We're not going to get the benefit of the doubt on pretty much anything. But the sheer fact that play was stopped, everyone went to the, we had our captain, and he had a group of others around him screaming at the referee as to like how you're not going to look at that. Whoever was in VAR, the fact that they deemed it like, oh, you know what? The referee didn't see the handball, obviously, because he didn't give us a handball going our direction. He gave the call as to another post call from that handball. He gave the ball to Bournemouth. So how you can literally, I get that there's the whole, like, if it hits a body part and it hits your hand, that's not a handball. Fantastic. However, if it hits a body part and you actively try to swat the ball down with your hand, how that's not a red card offense is beyond me. Beyond. That means we're playing. That would have meant that they would have been playing with a man down from the 12th minute on. Changes up everything. How that's not a handball and how that's not a red card is abhorrible when it comes to the just VAR. Come out and say you got it wrong. That's all I'm asking. The game's over. We won. Fantastic. We can move on. However, for you to sit there and try to sell us some BS is insulting. And this isn't the first time you try to sell us some BS. Absolutely abhorrible. From as in how we can go 12 minutes into the first game of the season and already we have a VAR controversy. How that's possible, I have no idea.
Yeah.
What do you got to say? How you feeling about that? Shout out to JK, by the way, for joining us.
Big up JK.
Best friend.
Best show. Lord of mercy, JK. Lord of mercy. So I'm going to say about that. VAR, as 12 said, Lord of mercy. Oh, what is it, 12? It just is what it is. This is what's going to happen. It won't be the first and it won't be the last.
Mm-hmm.
You got all the technology, you got everything in your hands, you got eyes, you got 65,000 cameras, and you can still not get it right. It is what it is.
Hey, I mean, like that call was so bad that I had to look up and make sure that Coot hasn't been reassigned, brought back to the Premier League and given VAR duties. That's how bad that call was. JK, how'd you feel about that?
Bro, it was the movement of, if he didn't do that, Ekatike would have run onto it. Simple as. Simple as. Okay, he's got half the pitch to run into, but the guy can score. You know what I mean? He's got 2 goals in 2 games. So, yeah, man, that was, it was a red card.
And the fact that, and this is why I don't understand why it didn't go to at least. Fantastic. You and the VAR don't think that it was a handball. You and the VAR apparently don't even think that he would have been on goal. Fantastic. Let the referee decide that. Let the referee that might have seen a different angle, or he's on the pitch and he now sees that, oh, it was a handball, and in his mind he knows that he would have been on goal if it wasn't for that handball. Let the referee decide that, not VAR. We already had
it. Yeah. The referee
that makes no sense. Mm-hmm. None whatsoever. Other than like you trying to basically, fall on the grenade. That's pathetic. Pathetic.
Yeah, it was that swipe he took at it because he said the ball bounced up onto his arm, onto his his elbow, and then he took a swipe at it afterwards, but sort of missed, didn't he?
No, that wasn't even close.
Really close. But the thing is,
He swatted at it like it was a fly, dude. He was like, he's trying to smack it down.
yeah, he did, bro. It's like he's in a restaurant and he's eating a burger and the fly's going on his burger all the time.
Exactly. Exactly.
Carragher said on the commentary the ref's been given the wrong information or not been given the right information by VAR over that. So, anyway,
Thing is, they didn't even send him to the TV. One have a look.
That's the thing that's horrible.
There you go.
Right there. I don't really mind that if VAR doesn't think that, fantastic, VAR, but you're not the one deciding the game on the pitch. Ultimately, the final decision comes down to the referee that's on the pitch, not VAR. So let the referee decide that, not you. Not you. That's the same, like, as in we already recognize the fact that if they had done that before and given the offside or like when the Spurs match, if they had asked the referee to take a look at it and the referee recognized, oh, it's not offsides, okay, goal stands, then he would have never done what he did. But rather than let him go to the monitor, they tried to make the decision to speed up the game a little bit and got the wrong call. Again, the same thing here, I think. Pathetic.
Hi, Lady B and Dara in the chat.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Look, for me, you know, bro.
Bless up, Dara, and bless up to Lady B.
It was the first game of the season, and he could have gone pear-shaped.
Yeah.
He could have. And for me, as champions, you got to get 3 points. You were playing the first game on a Friday night before the weekend starts. You need to get 3 points on the board. We did that.
Yeah. I'm going to bring up who we should be giving props to in 1 minute, but I will talk about performance. I will talk about the performance in a second, but I do want to mention this. I've called out Crystal Palace fans for their horrible situation. Look, I'm not going to be hesitant to call out if what occurred did occur. I'm hoping that they do some type of review, some type of investigation about apparently the racial abuse that was on the sideline. Apparently, I would like for that to be addressed and for whoever the fan was to be properly adjudicated, because that's a horrible. It's something that doesn't
Well, will
deserve
be.
to be a part of our.
To be arrested. So if someone has done it, like to be arrested, hopefully there's police there.
Yeah.
Oh, we saw police or something.
If it's a person, if it's the same truth, it's apparently they showed the incident and it was apparently, I guess, like someone in the in the disability area, because he was in a wheelchair, that said that apparently was the person. And that's just, I don't, it goes to say that, look, I mentioned it before, I'll mention it again. Every last one of us represent this club, and unfortunately you're going to always have a jerk. You're going to have someone that is a jerk or someone that's horrible, the whole nine. But yet, we need to weed those people out, because those people don't deserve to represent or be a part of what we think is a real concise family of respectful people. And it puts a bad light on us in general as a whole, just because of one bad apple. And that's horrible to say. The other thing that I wanted to mention, so let's get into this. Lady B asked for, let's talk about the performance. Can we talk about my Italiano? I guess maybe it was proper that The Godfather was on right after. Because I had to watch it on, I had to stream through my phone. So in another room, The Godfather was playing. They're doing The Godfather marathon or something. And big up to someone that a lot of us have been saying, just give him the chance. That's all we've been saying. Right? Am I wrong?
We've been saying that for a long time. I said
for
today,
just give him a chance.
Give him a chance, he'll shoot. That's what I said. And there you go, man. I'm so happy for him, man. That was the winner. Salah scoring gave us 2 minutes of peace.
Stealed it, but yes.
Because if
Chiesa
Salah
was
didn't
the-
get that fourth, they had 2 minutes more to get an equaliser. So for me, Salah's goal just gave me more enjoyment than the Chiesa one, but it's mad, yeah. Fair play to Chiesa, man. Happy for him.
Yeah. What were your thoughts, Lee? Were you optimistic that he was going to score?
I thought I wasn't sure he was going to score, or I didn't really think it. I just was hoping he'd get a piece of something, and he did. Because he is quite, he's tidy when he finishes and that, and he knows the areas to be in. So it was really nice for him, wasn't it? And you just knew the song was going to kick off, didn't you? Really late on, It was great for Mo to get the extra one as well, although I was pleading with him to pass just before he hit it with his right foot. It was like, pass. But then he just stuck it with his right foot nice and true into the corner, and it was made up.
Yeah, it furthers his record. It furthers his record of goals in opening games, actually.
Yeah, I was really pleased for Feddy anyway to get one. He liked his celebration. He enjoyed the whole thing, didn't he? It was good. I would give man of the match to Hugo because it was his debut and he got the score underway. I missed the second goal. Did he create it for Gakpo? Did he get the assist for Gakpo?
He did.
I missed the second goal. I was late for the second half.
No, he did. He did. He got the second assist.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I give the man of the match to Hugo, but that was a nice.
It wasn't an assist, but it was it was a good pass, and I'm not disputing that. An assist is an assist, but yeah, Cody did the work, as in it was a pass, and then Cody had to dribble, make space, and then score on his own. But the pass for him to do that was from Ekitike, which matters.
Fair play to Ekitike, bro. He just comes, does a job. Fair play to him, man. I like it.
Yeah. Facts. We don't lose. As long as Endo's on the pitch, we do not lose. Facts.
I think Endo coming out right back weren't great. Weird one. I think
it's a weird one.
It's a weird one. Yeah.
Because it takes away it takes away what you can do with when I was bringing on Robbo on the left side or whatever along those lines. It was interesting because I was told about how our wingbacks or our fullbacks simply are going to push forward. They're going to go forward. Well, you're not going to want Endo to go forward. You're not looking for Frimpong style pace from Endo as your right back. You're going to be looking at what we spoke on, which is you're going to look at him shading back and providing a little bit more defensive coverage.
You know what? I'm not going to jump on Slot today because for me, it was the result that was the most important thing, not
Absolutely.
the real performance and that. I ain't really got the energy to have a go at Slot and stuff, but I think McAllister was controlling that game today. It was great to see McAllister was controlling that game, bro, and we had it under control. Okay. As soon as he came off, I think we sort of lost it. So I'm not gonna, and I think he's trying to be cautious with McAllister because over the year he really put a lot of work in, get stuck in, and I think he was sort of injured at the end of last season. Hence why I was a bit cautious with him bringing him off and that. But I think today he was running the game, bro. Great to see McAllister today.
What did you feel about what were your thoughts about Ibu's performance?
Oh, bro, I'm telling you now, I'm better than him. Simple.
Stop.
I always say that. When I say that, yeah, I'm serious, yeah. Give me that shirt today instead of him. I would have put a better shift in there. What happened to that lad today, bro? He did not even do a slide tackle when Semenyo ran through the whole thing. That's Nalante. Nalante always says we allow teams to run straight through us. And as soon as that happened today, Nalante came to my mind. I was thinking that's what Nalante always says. And look what happened, bro. Why did not Kanate just jump on him? He had a time where he could just slide tackle him or God knows what. We needed Kirkes then in that position right there. Just to slide tackle him, whatever. But for me, that was just dreadful defending, man. Dreadful.
Do you think it's as simple? And this is my question to Lee. Do you think that it's as simple as maybe Ibu and this contract talk, or the fact that the contract hasn't been settled and and the likes, and we just brought in Leone, and we're still trying to get Gahey, and so like we're obviously trying to maneuver for coverage, if not for replacement, in case he does decide to leave at the end of the year and doesn't decide to sign the contract for an extension. Do you think that maybe that's like getting in his head a little bit, maybe? Lee, do you think that maybe?
I'd like to think not, that he was just maybe a little bit rusty on the opening day more than anything.
For me, bro, if he's seen them rumours 2 guys are going to come in and he might lose his place, show the manager today that ain't going to bloody happen. It's as simple as that, bro. Come on. You got a bit of competition, show the manager, you know what? Sod your competition. I'll show you who's the best. Simple. I can't say anything else.
Okay. Yeah. What is being talked about here in the chat? I just see Camavinga being mentioned. I doubt Camavinga is in any negotiations of becoming a Liverpool Red. Tuchemani, maybe Tuchemani, but I don't think Camavinga is that person.
Look, for me, bro, when you're
let's see. I felt for Ibu because there was a moment when he was on the ground and he looked and like it was. I think it was the second goal that was scored, and he was on the ground, and like VVD was walking, was kind of like had his head down, kind of walking like what's going on, and Ibu was just on the ground like kind of like looking lost, like
I should have that.
It's not good. Dara says, sorry, but in his opinion, Ibu is vastly overrated. Okay. Hyler is saying, did any of you guys catch the booing against Kanate? I did not catch that, but I will. I have the ability to watch.
That's not booing. That's his.
It's like it's like his name when they chant his name, it sounds like they're booing, but they're not. They're saying Ibu.
Yeah, it does sound like the booing, doesn't it, when you do that? Like,
yeah, they actually big him up. The fans, the fans support him, bro. In the stadium, they support him. That's what we do. We support our players. You know what I mean? So we can't say that we don't.
Like yeah, you don't want to. I mean, what's booing going to do other than make it worse?
Kanate has concentration. He has problems concentrating. For me, simple as.
I can understand that too. I can agree with that. Kevin says Ibu committed. Oh, I saw that. Ibu was committed to Under Armour and not LFC. No, well, not. I don't know about that last part. He said committed to Under Armour. He is no longer committed to Nike. He is now with Under Armour. Thus, he has these boots that he's wearing that I don't know unless you have bad ankles, maybe. It's very interesting, the boots that he has, because they're like high tops. They're like high top style, like basketball style shoes. And I didn't even know Under Armour made cleats actually, but
that's look, bro, his boots look like his mind bamboozled.
Bamboozled. There you go. Lady B says, I think she's talking about. She's speaking to you, JK. She says, fight for your place, but he's checked out, JK.
I think so. Exactly. The season just started and he's checked out. What's he doing?
Yeah.
Fight for your place. If he's last year, give it all. Win a league title before you go then. Simple.
Trap Joe says, I hope Macca doesn't go anywhere, especially to Real Madrid. I hope so too.
Bro,
welcome to Liverpool,
for me. McAllister. I think McAllister was running that game today. midfield. Just in front.
I
Yeah,
think that
playing
he was influential. I just think that unfortunately his fitness isn't to the level that
That's what
he
it
would
is.
be comfortable at being as in you can tell that. I mean, he's got the football IQ of McAllister is second to none, but you could also see there were a couple like that one foul that he had on the sideline where he could have easily got a card for it. Where he the player kind of like took him out and he kind of turned and looked like he was ready to go at him. I think that's just because he was like a step late, and maybe if he has a little bit more of his legs underneath him, he gets to it a little bit easier. Ibu always looks nonchalant, needs higher level of focus, says Lee Wizkid. AR says we need Mark Gahey. What else? Heck, there could be an argument that if this continues, that if this kind of level of defense continues, there could be an argument that if Gahey does start or does, get transferred, there's no guarantee. There's a higher possibility that Gahey leaves on a free than Gahey possibly getting transferred, to be honest with you. That's just my opinion. I'm not an ITK. That's just my opinion.
I love Benedette's. We looked like we were missing a player in midfield. We were, remember it. Oh, quality. No, I think McAllister did a great job playing in Gravenberch sort of position. I think everything was running great. Szoboszlai was playing fucking great. Fair play to Szoboszlai in that first half as well. I think he was playing great. As soon as he came off, he just sort of bamboozled us.
Very interesting take too, by the way. Interesting take by MM. MM says something that's very interesting. He says that he's speaking to CJ, and him and CJ are having a conversation, but he said he doesn't think so about because I think CJ was speaking on him possibly about McAllister maybe going on to Real Madrid. He says he has a theory most Reds won't like, but when Slot gets his Wharton or maybe even a Camavinga, he thinks Maka would be the one he would prefer to lose. I don't know about that one. I think Maka is one of the most indispensable portions of our offense or of our team. I'd go as far as to say that Maka. Everyone is important, but Maka is one of the most important players on this team, I think.
He showed it today. What do you disagree with, KJ? That's my bad.
Dara says, can he just say that it was wonderful to see Gomez play for us again? I believe this is worthy of a celebration. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think what does it say? Oh, okay, got you, Demonte. Losing Maka is like losing our minds, says Trap Joe. I think it'll be like losing the soul of this team. Like I definitely think that Maka is like the major maestro of our midfield. Put it that way.
It was good to see him.
Athletically, he's not as gifted as Dominic or as Ryan, but football IQ, talent level, I think he is possibly the best midfielder that we have on this team. Kevin says, how can you judge Slot after his first window? If anything, I would say he favors Jones, and he's a big fan. Okay. MM says, they're coming in hot and fast. He is least physically capable, though. Don't get me wrong. He loves Maka. He just thinks that the club might cash in on him and get Slot the kind of midfielder he really wants. Ooh. Okay. Interesting. It's your opinion. Nothing wrong with it. In total, Semenyo, this is what Hyler has to say. In total, Semenyo was outstanding today, a very serious player. I thought so too. Very, very talented player. Came out to play. The second goal from him made our defense look like amateurs. I'll tell you this. From the very beginning, he and Bournemouth were targeting our right side, and they believed that they could win all the aerial duels on that side. They believed they could win, and they also believed that that Semenyo could be a menace to whoever was on that right side. And unfortunately, it was Kirkes that was the victim of Semenyo.
I think when Kirkes finds his feet, I love his tenacity. I like his fire. I think he's going to be a great player. So I got no problem worry about him. I think it will come with coaching and stuff. He'll be bang on. But he's got fire in him.
We were in the running for him at one point. Do you think that we should revisit that?
Look, for me, bro, he's a good little player. He played well today again. He scored 3 goals in 3 games or something against us at Anfield.
Would you go as far as to say he's Liverpool quality? Yeah, Lady B's asking that question. I'll ask the same question to you, Lady B. Do you think that Semenyo is Liverpool quality? And I don't know
about that. He's good, but we've got players in them positions, haven't we?
Not really, bro.
Progress, I don't know.
Winger-wise, he'd be good. Winger-wise, just to have him. Yeah, I think he's a good little player.
I don't know.
Some say yes, some say no.
I want us to get Isa. That's where I want us to go. Maybe next summer, if he continues progressing and scoring loads of goals, yeah, maybe be a signing for Liverpool.
I already told you who my pick is to bring in for a winger for this team. Plays for PSG.
Okay.
One of South Korea's best. I think it would be a reasonable. I would have tried to have gotten him before PSG gotten him, but even if we're not going to get him, even if we couldn't get him then, the longer we wait, the higher that price tag's going to go up. Who's your
yeah, and no, like KJ, it's like the way Sabot's today was getting about on the pitch. He was getting tackles in. He was getting stuck in a little bit more than he normally does. So it was good to see his energy. I reckon on the ball could have been better for sure. But I just think he was getting about today. It was good to see he was getting like tackles and blocks and interceptions in. So yeah, I always criticize Sabot, so it was good to say something good about him.
I don't believe that we got the answer to that question, Hashashin. He asked who is my vice captain, or who I would have as being my vice captain. I don't know if we got that. We didn't get it, and it's the first game of the. You would think we'd have that answer by now. First game of the season, he's already told he's told whoever it was. He's already said that player knows that he's picked him as being the vice captain. I don't know who's the vice captain, to be honest with you. Who's going to get that nod? I personally think that it will be Robbo.
Okay. I think Salabra.
Yeah. Lady B thinks Salah as well. KJ says he wants it to be Robbo. KJ thinks it's Salah, but he wants it to be Robbo or even Ali. Interesting. I would think it would be Robbo, but if it wasn't, I would nominate McAllister, to be honest with you. For those of us that think that he is possibly on his way to Real Madrid, for those of us that think that maybe he's looking at a different setting. Give him that captain's armband and make him feel as though, or make him know and feel that he's definitely important and wanted. So you don't have to do that for Slot. Slot is guaranteed. You don't have to do that for Robbo either. Those players will give their heart and soul for the club. Not saying Maka wouldn't, but saying that Maka could possibly be tempted to leave. You give him that armband, it comes with a little bit more responsibility in staying. Sometimes it does. Trent Alexander-Arnold obviously could be used as an example as to when it doesn't. Yeah, there you go. I like Dara's suggestion in transfers. What else is on your mind? We're gonna wrap. We're at an hour mark here, so we're gonna wrap up pretty soon. What is it? Anything else that you guys want to say or talk about? We just got Nalante back.
Nalante, what do you think of the match, Nalante?
Yeah, can you guys hear me? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Listen, I'm just gonna point out someone in the chat, and because I can't respond properly, I'm gonna be tricodded. Listen, Mr. CJ, or whatever your name is, yeah. You called Chiesa, and I don't like swearing, but you called him shit. Who are you to say he's shit? He's a professional footballer. You're not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And yeah, you want to have opinions. That's no problem. It's fine, no problem. I'm not saying, but who are you to say that?
I didn't know why he would say that, to be honest with you.
I don't know. I don't know if he's drinking. I don't know what he's doing. So how can you call back? Have you seen Chiesa before?
A player that literally just won us this game.
Forget that. Forget that, because Hyler, big up Hyler, he's saying I like the goal. I'm happy for him, but it doesn't do me anything. If he's going to be sold at the end of the year, or Slot's not going to use him, then what's the point? And this is what I mean. It's like people override things. They jump on the next wave. Everyone's saying Rio, and cool Rio, but
yeah.
What is Chiesa? Is Chiesa a bum? I'm just dumbfounded. Sometimes our reaction to certain things, some of the fan base, he just dumbfound me. And I mean, how can you call a guy who can score with both feet? He can go in and out. And listen. I'm going to be real. If Chiesa is 100%, he's better than Cody. A prime fit Chiesa is better than Cody. I'm sorry, but again, it's in the chart. So Chiesa scored. I'm happy, but it doesn't do anything for me. Why? Because I still got a feeling he's going to get sold, and he's not going to use him. If both are wrong, then I hold my hands up and say sorry, Sorry, Slot.
I understand what you mean, but for me, bro,
You learned, and this is the thing. Yeah, colorful, but I just think he's just overhyped. Then what? So like me personally, I think Joey's just as good as him. Like I said, and that's when he first signed, and he's had some good bits. So I just don't understand some fan bases about who shit. Because at the end of the day, like I said, I played football. JK's played football. At the end of the day, they've made it. They play a professional footballer, and if they made it as a professional footballer, who are we to call? You can say they're not good enough. You can say they're not good enough, but to say they're like shit is a bit mad. But anyway,
no, you should always support your players. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But to me, even I knew sometimes Darwin's not great, but I'm not going to go online and say he's not. He's this and that. Like for me, you don't just do that. It's like in the old days. You'd be in a pub and there'd be all Liverpool fans, there's one or two Man United fans. You'd be saying Darwin's the best thing since sliced bread in front of the United fans. You know what I mean? That's all changed now. You know, so but I agree with what Trap Joe says. Kirketh lacks Robbo's IQ. That will come within training and coaching and playing games and that. I think he'll settle down. He's got fire in him. Them tackles he was getting in today, I was like, fucking hell, this guy is fucking 100%. You know what I mean? It was like, I was like, respect. But I think that will come. I think he needs a bit of training and get used to the pace Van Dijk and everyone else plays and when to time his tackles right.
What is so we Nalante gave us his Matma as Eketike. Lee, do you have a Matma? I don't know.
Yeah, Hugo as well for scoring and getting an assist.
Okay.
Thought it was a great effort for his full debut.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, Hugo, man, what a guy! What a guy, bro. I don't ever go over the top supporting players, and I'll say yeah, Sam. But for me, Ekitike, he knows what he's doing, and it's good to see that straight away. You're like, okay, this guy knows what he's doing. Look at the finishes he's done so far. Mm-hmm. You know, you can't really moan, bro, and I'm happy for him. You know what it is with strikers when you move, you want your first goal. Because what's going to happen if you don't get it in the first 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games? Everyone will say this guy's a bloody waste of money. And that's when the stress starts. So for me, him getting a goal is very important. So fair play.
Is he your man of the match, or is he your Matma? Yeah. It's better than saying Patma. So let's say Matma.
Matma Gandhi, man.
Matma Gandhi. Yeah, there you go. Is he your Matma?
Like, your man of the match? Man of the match for me, yeah. Yeah.
Hugo. All right. Cool.
3 for Hugo.
3 for Hugo.
Oh.
It's not a clean sweep. I'm not giving it to Hugo. Hugo had an incredible game. I'm not doubting that. I'm not disputing that at all. But
in the red, you asked who's going to score first. No?
I'm going to have to say that I would have to give. I think Cody had a better game than most people want to admit, but I also think that I'm going to have to go. The reason why I'm going to go with Chiesa. I know it's a lot easier to say, oh, well, he only played a certain amount of minutes and everything else. But yet, I just think that the fact that this player that has been overlooked by this coach time and time and time again, and the fact that this player had the professionalism, the togetherness to go out onto the pitch and absolutely provide us a miracle lifeline, okay? You have to give credit where credit's due. That is something that very few people. He could have easily, been running around like a chicken with his head cut off. He could have easily been someone that goes out there, doesn't provide anything, any type of of relief for the team. Our team looked like it was done after that second goal. If there was a moment when it was 2-2, you could tell someone else was going to score. Unfortunately for us, that could have easily been Bournemouth as well, okay, at that moment. Chiesa got onto that pitch, and Chiesa said no, hold my espresso. I'll be right back. And absolutely was well put to be in the right place at the right time and scored. I have to give Chiesa a shout because Chiesa, again, these players are important, man. For me, I love players that step up to these big moments, that have these moments that actually can be, I'm not saying career defining, but definitely can be moments where they can actively say they've contributed to our success. They actively can say that they have contributed in one way or another to us moving on to a victory, and that's exactly what we got. Because we were on the verge of possibly losing this game, possibly losing this game, if not going on and getting a draw at least. Because you got to consider, I know we had 6 minutes of extra time, and Salah scored in the 4th minute of extra time, so that solidified it. That shut the door. But Chiesa walked through that door like Biggie. He kicked in the door, waving the 4-4, waving the 1-4. How about that?
Mm-hmm. 1 out the 4, yeah.
Yeah, it's number 14. There you go. That's just my humble opinion, though. Stu and Mick. We do have to do something about the racism that exists in football. I agree with that.
Yeah, but what I was going to say, like that guy now, he's ruined his whole football life now. He can't come to Anfield, so I ain't going to respect the lad. like no one was going to look at, you know what I mean, bro? So what he's doing for that 5 seconds he's done it is ruined his whole sort of life now.
Sounds like his life's already bad if he's in a wheelchair. Maybe he's in a wheelchair for a reason.
Maybe
somebody did his legs.
Spiteful, maybe just, yeah, I understand what you're saying, Lee, but maybe he's there's a lot more going on. There's a lot more going on, obviously, that he needs to work out. He needs to definitely work out, because that was. I mean, he was. You could tell he's in the wheelchair because he rolled his wheelchair close to the line enough so that Semenyo turned around because he was like screaming at him. I'm like, come on, man, come on. We can all like, you know, root on our team and try to get in the heads of our opposition, but there's a line. There's definitely a line, and that's a shame. If that was, again, there has to be an investigation. You know, it's alleged. I know that, you know, until we get the final verdict, and like it's just that. It's alleged. Maybe he misheard him say something, but still. Oh, man. 111. All right. So with that, let us start to wind this up a little bit and get ready for tomorrow. I think this game is worthy of a review. I think it is. I hate reviewing games we lose, and I don't like even reviewing games we draw in. So at least we got 6 goals, a 6-goal thriller as our start. So we could definitely get a review in tomorrow as the other games take place. I'll ask something real quick before we bounce. Again, that disappointed me too, AMM. It's what I said earlier. Each one of us, no matter how we look at it, each one of us, our actions represent us all as a group. Unfortunately, it happens that way because that's what people will do. They'll see the action of one person. They'll see the actions of one person, and then use it as a broad brush to put it as what represents all of Liverpool fans, and that's a shame. You know, it's a real shame, and it's something that we have to be mindful of, as in like our actions represent us, our club, each other, and as long as we do our part to rise above, then we should have no problems. And when we see that actions, deplorable actions by others, call it out. Call it out. I understand some people don't want to be snitches, but hey, that deserves to be called out. So what I was going to ask is this real quick. Let me get to this real quickly. All right. We'll get more into your own personal scores or something tomorrow as we break it down. If not, or the games are on early. So for me, early, the Villa Newcastle game's on at 4:30 in the morning. But what game are you guys looking forward to the most this weekend? Real quick. JK, go ahead.
Man United Arsenal.
Man United Arsenal. Lee, what's the game you're looking for the most?
Probably United Arsenal.
United Arsenal. All right. It looks like it might be a clean sweep. Delonte, what game are you looking forward to?
Clean sweep.
Clean sweep. Got you. Again, Red Armchair supporter, I'm not saying that it doesn't necessarily mean the whole crowd is at it. I'm not saying that at all. But what I am saying is that you have to call that out, and you can't. And being silent about it only means that you condone it. It's got to be cut out completely. There's no place for it, and I don't have a problem saying that I don't want to be associated with people that think that it should be a part of it.
If it's true, he'd be banned from the ground anyway, and he'll get a fine, won't he? So the ground will never see him again.
Yeah, 100%. He'll be banned for life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm getting a fine.
That's wild, Lady B. That is wild. that existed. It's a terrible. I'm glad that those days are behind us, and I'm hoping that they become a long lost memory that we would have to think of. So Man United. So we got to wait all the way till Sunday, basically Sunday for that Man United Arsenal game. That's like the big game of the week. They're saying. No, I thought maybe Lee would say Leeds and Everton, maybe to like kind of give a shout out to his dad or something.
No, I didn't even know that they were playing. To be honest, I did not know they were playing.
Yeah. Oh, that's going to be tasty. Dominic Calvert-Lewin against his old club.
Yeah, and it's at Leeds. So I mean, it's not like, yeah.
Surprised he was there though. Actually, surprised no one else picked him up. But yeah, fairness. Anyway, surprised he's gone to Leeds, but you know.
Also, yeah, Calvert-Lewin said he was like he feels like a kid all over again. He says there's a hop in his step, basically. He's ready for this, man. He is ready.
Okay.
The United Arsenal game is going to be on NBC. It's going to be on NBC, their sports channel, I believe. Yeah, NBC. Telemundo, if those that speak Spanish or don't mind Spanish commentary, Telemundo, and or it'll most likely be on. It says NBC, but it most likely will be on Peacock, which is their parent company that you have to pay for that to get it because it's the big game. Usually for the big games, they make it go through the one that you have to spend money to watch. Yeah. When is that? Does anyone know when it's? I thought that was going to be implemented. Possibly, is it this? It's obviously not this year, but are they? Is it next year? They're going to try this blue card stuff. Is it next year?
I have no idea.
You don't know? You don't know?
No.
I was just wondering. A random thought. Sorry, I just saw something about I don't know about it's interesting to see what they would do. Because there were some instances that some of those players should have been taken off of a blue card if they weren't going to get any card at all. If they weren't going to get a yellow card, they should have a blue card. All right. But yeah, Villa Newcastle. Excuse me. Early tomorrow, for me at least. Early tomorrow. I think it's the 12:30 game. Spurs Burnley. Spurs at home on that game. Sunderland West Ham. I'm announcing the home team first. Brighton Fulham tomorrow. And then the final game of Saturday will be Wolves versus Manchester City. And then Sunday's got some good games, actually. Chelsea, Crystal Palace, Forest, Brentford, Man U, Arsenal, Leeds, Everton. Sunday's going to be a packed day of some really good games. So we'll see. I take it everyone has the same in the chat. Everyone wants to see that Man U Arsenal game. What do you want as a result of that game? And that's the last question I'll ask before we wrap up here.
Draw.
Okay, draw. There you go. I don't think that each. My answer would be a loss and a loss, but I don't think that's that's not a possibility. That's just unfortunately not a possibility. It could maybe it could be. Maybe they both say, you know what, we're angry, and they walk off the pitch and they both forfeit the game. That would be perfect. But yeah, Nolante, is that what you're looking for too? Draw, or do you want one team to lose more than the other?
Not really bothers me. Whatever. Sesko misses an open goal. Rice misses an open goal. All players miss an open goal. Arteta has a meltdown. Ruben cries in the stands. Yeah, whatever.
Okay. I would like to see Sesko, maybe not even Sesko. How about Cunha and Mbeumo are fighting over the ball just to see who ends up taking the penalty kick, and then whenever they work it out, he ends up missing the penalty kick. How about that? That'd be great for me to see. Lee, is that what you want to? Is a draw, or are you looking for one team to lose?
I'd say a draw would be best, yeah, for Liverpool.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, crowd trouble. Yeah, something like that. It's at Manchester United, so you know how that could get. Maybe they get penalized for having 12 men on the pitch when they see a rat running on the pitch. Just joking. Master Splinter's won already. All right. Big up to everyone for joining us. Big up to the panel. Shout out to Lee. Shout out to JK. Shout out to Nalante. You guys want to say any parting words before we bounce? Now we're at like pretty much coming up on the 90th minute. No.
Yeah, nice one to the chat.
Okay, all right.
Nice one to the chat. And it's like football, man. When it was 2-0, life was good. Then it came 2-2. And everyone was fucking worried. And then all of a sudden, bang, bang, 4-2. So that's football. It's up and down and stuff. But always be happy, you know what I mean? Got 3 points as champions. I think we will get Isaac. Lady B.
You think we will again this season? Okay.
Yeah.
I you know what? If he vows not to play for Newcastle, if they have to watch him sit on the bench or train separately from the team, I can easily see that resulting in us getting him either before the window ends and most assuredly by January. I think it would happen. There's no point in keeping a player that's just going to, be disruptive in the locker room. And I don't have a problem with what he's been doing, considering some of the history behind it. Lee, you want to say anything? And do you want to answer Lady B's question real quick too?
Just thanks everyone in chat. We got 3 points. Got 10 days now until the Arsenal game, and hopefully we'll be in good shape for that. Will we get Isaac? I'm gonna say yeah.
There you go. Positive thinking. Love it. See?
Has to be a yeah.
See, everyone thought this was going to be a somewhat negative stream, maybe. No. Positive thinking. We'll hold emergency meeting with LFC owners. Interesting. I don't know what that's going to be about, but we shall see. Give us that update, Bonkers and Lee, tomorrow. But until then, people, always bless up to each and every one of you. I hope that you have a tremendous finish to your Friday evening. I hope that you have an even better Saturday morning, Saturday day. We will see you tomorrow as well. And looking forward to seeing you here. And like I said, please do hit that like button. Bring a friend, tell a friend to subscribe, whatever you need to do. Let's just keep getting those numbers up so that we can continue to make our voices heard. And once again, I appreciate each and every one of you. So I wish the best to all of you, and we will talk to you soon. Until then, peace.